Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video. As you can see, I've just gotten out of the shower and my hair is wet. So I'm just going to take you through my daily routine of what I use for skincare and makeup. Hello and welcome to the Downsized. My name is Laraine Durham. I've lost over 50 pounds on the GLP-1 medication tirzepatide, and the Downsized is our channel where we talk about all things GLP-1 health and weight loss related. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm not a dermatologist. This is just what I use, and it's for entertainment purposes only. I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel. I'm here in my bathroom. I just got out of the shower, and a lot of us on GLP-1 medications have the problem of hair loss. So I think it's really important to use a good shampoo that's easy on your hair. Today and most days I use these Nexus shampoos. This is shampoo and conditioner. It's Color Assure. It's really gentle on my hair. I do color my hair in case you didn't know. That's what I use for shampoo. Skincare is really important, whether you're on a GLP-1 or just as we age, honestly, because we get those fine lines, some wrinkles start showing up, and I think exfoliation daily can really help with that. One thing I use every day is Rodan and Fields Redefine Daily Clay Cleanser. It's their first step. I've been using Rodan and Fields for probably about 10 years. I really like it. I use it. It's easy. So I did this in the shower, and now I'm out of the shower. The next thing I do is brush my teeth. I like this Oral-B toothbrush. I've been using these for a long time, and I like the Crest 3D white toothpaste on sale at CVS. So just a little bit, and now I'm gonna brush my teeth. So now my teeth are clean. Okay, so now skincare. Skincare is really important when you're on a GLP-1 because you've lost some fat. I lost some fat off my face, so things, I started to see some wrinkles where maybe there weren't any before, and so I do a multiple step skincare program. So the next thing I do is step 2, which is the toner. This just takes off any remaining makeup. It removes dead skin cells and just kind of leaves a fresh base to put on your moisturizers. So you just want to get in all the little places there, and hopefully sometimes you'll see dirt that comes off. I mean, I just showered and it looks like, there's still a little bit of dirt, so that's good. Okay, now the next thing that I do is neck cream, which is something I did not use before starting a GLP-1 because I noticed my face got thinner and my neck got, I don't know, not looser. I mean, I'm 56, so I've always put moisturizer on my neck, but now I've gotten this targeted contour neck treatment. So I give it a pump and I just put some on like that. The next step I do is a hydration serum. My face has gotten really dry, especially as I age, and I feel like this helps keep moisture in my skin. I layer it under my moisturizer. So this is called the Rodan and Fields Active Hydration Serum, and it looks like a little medicine stopper. You just give it a squirt and apply all over your face with your fingers. One time I bought this and I dropped it on my bathroom floor, which is tile, and it smashed. And I was very sad. So I'm always very careful now to make sure the lid's on and make sure it's closed tightly and it goes back on my counter. I've been using skincare, I think, since I was about 12 years old. I had very bad acne as a child, so my mom started my sister and I on Clinique and took us to the dermatologist. So I've been on tetracycline for acne, I've had Retin-A through the years, I've done multiple things to combat acne, so I always got in the habit of using a skincare system, even with the Clinique. Remember that old 3-step system, the soap, the toner, and that yellow moisturizer? They still have it, and it's still good, I think, as a starting off skincare treatment. But now as I've gotten older, I've just had to add more ingredients add more things. Moisturizers are really important. So step 3 is my Rodan and Fields Daytime Moisturizer. This has SPF 30, which is important. You should be wearing SPF sunscreen every day. Whether it's in your moisturizer, whether it's in your makeup, you really want to keep the sun off your face. That's the best way to keep from aging. And you don't need a lot, just about this much. And then I just dab it on my face and get it rubbed in. And I take these products with me when I travel. I have small bottles that I put them in. Sometimes they sell travel sizes, and I use those too. Make sure you always put the lids back on your products nice and tight so they stay as fresh as they can. My eye cream, I use 2 different ones. At night, I use the Rodan and Fields Redefine Eye Cream, but in the morning, I tend to get puffy, so I like this Rodan and Fields Active Hydration Eye Cream. So this one, it looks like a little test tube, and I always apply eye cream with my ring finger because that finger, you get the least amount of pressure, and you want to work from the outside corners of your eye in, and you don't want to get too close to your eye because the moisturizer will travel up your face, I guess. And you want to go in like this. I put any that's left on my forehead because my forehead always needs extra help. Okay, so now I've done all my skincare. Before I started a GLP-1, I used to get a lot of redness in my cheeks and on my nose. Like for years, I would use different kind of creams to cover it up, different kinds of makeup. I tried different products. I even used a Rodan and Fields product called Soothe, which was supposed to be calming to your skin, and those all helped a little bit. As I started using GLP-1s and it started taking the inflammation out of my body, that redness has basically gone away. Occasionally I'll get it a little bit, but now my face used to be hot. It used to be like hot and inflamed all the time. I went to the dermatologist I think back in October, and she did diagnose it as rosacea. So I had never been diagnosed before. I'd always just tried other creams and things, but nothing really ever helped until I started on tirzepatide, and then that inflammation left my face, it left my body, and it really, as long as I've been taking the GLP-1, it has not come back. So you can see, no redness. Sometimes my nose gets a little red, but that's it. So now we're going to move on to hair products. As you can see, my hair is kind of a hot mess. Actually, it's just wet. So my hair, I do color my hair. I do blow dry my hair. I don't wash it every day. I wash it about every day, every other day, or every couple of days, just depending. Some products that I really like are these It's a 10 products. So I use the Blow Dry Miracle Glossing Leave-In, and I just spray a few pumps of that. And then I'll try to detangle. So when your hair's wet, it's really fragile. Especially if you're on a GLP-1, you don't want to be yanking your hair out because we want to keep all the hair that is on our heads, especially if you're losing hair from maybe too fast of weight loss. So I have a wide tooth comb and start at the bottom and then detangle. So, oh, I just hit my microphone. This spray does, these It's a 10 products do 10 things with one product. They moisturize, they protect from heat, they give shine. I also use the blow dry balm. Some people just use one or the other. I like to use both because my hair gets especially dry. And you can see it's already starting to like have that little curl again, which I usually try to blow out with my blow dryer. So I just take a little bit. And I like to get the sides, I like to get the top, because that's where I feel I have the most damage, and whatever's left, I just move to the ends. The ends of your hair can get damaged and they can split, so it's important to get your hair cut, you know, every couple of months. I found that my hair doesn't grow as fast now than when I was younger, so I tend to get less haircuts. So I just want to be gentle on my hair. Okay, so that's my detangling comb. And now it's time for makeup. I have my Simple Human lighted LED makeup mirror. It plugs in and charges. It has a charging cord, so that's nice. So I don't have to keep it plugged in on my counter, and I can move it around and move it to where it needs to be. I've had this one for a while. I really like it. I think I got it for my 40th birthday. Is that right? That was a long time ago. So, products. Right now I'm liking Estee Lauder makeup. So I have Estee Lauder Futurist Soft Touch Concealer, and for the base I have Futurist Skin Tint Serum. In the summertime I don't like a heavy makeup. I don't like heavy base on my face. This has broad spectrum SPF of 20. So I got some sunscreen in my moisturizer. I have sunscreen in my base. So that's good. So I use these little makeup sponges. Some people use beauty blenders, but I've used these. I get them at CVS. I've used these for years. I like them because they get in the corners of my eyes. I get them at CVS. I think they're CVS brand. So here's my concealer, and I'll put a little bit just under my eye, and I have some spots that I like to work on. So I'll cover those up. And then I just take my sponge. Some people wet their sponge, but I don't ever do that. I just blend it in. You want to go really light around your eyes because you don't want to pull on that like I just did right there, on that eye area. I also like to put a little bit of that like on my brow bone and eyelid, just as like a eye makeup base. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the base. So I always shake it up. Shake before opening. Shake before opening. You know that Saturday Night Live routine? Yeah, but you're supposed to shake the bottle. It doesn't mean shake your body. Okay. So this is kind of fun too because it's in like this dropper, a dropper form. I don't know why they do this, but I like it because you don't have to put your sponge into it. You can drop the product onto your sponge like that. And I just need a little bit. And then I like to dab it on my cheeks, forehead, nose, chin, and then I just kind of work it in. So I like to go usually from the top because I hate when you get that line around your chin when your makeup's not blended in. I put some on my eyelids. My hair's sometimes in the way, but you do want to blend it. Okay. So I like to use makeup base as just like a something that evens out my skin. I don't want it to really cover it up. I don't want it to look cakey. I want it to look natural, as natural as you can be at 56. So, and my makeup base has changed over the years. I'm always in search of the best one, and it's hard to get one that matches your skin tone. I think I did a pretty good job with this one. So yeah, there we go. Blend it in really good. Okay. All right, so now that we're filming videos a lot, I tend to get shiny, which is not bad. Shiny means your skin has moisture and you want to keep that moisture in your skin, but sometimes I need to have a little powder to go on top of that. So I like this Lorac. It's called, what is this called? It's the Lorac powder. I use medium beige, PF 3.5. Sometimes I just use this as a makeup base if I'm just in a hurry, just for a quick, you know, touch up and go kind of thing. I have this big Kabuki makeup brush. I got this at Sephora. It's a Sephora brand makeup brush, and it's big and puffy, which I really like. So I just do a little bit of this. I generally start with my nose because it gets the shiniest, and just go out from there kind of in my T-zone. My cheeks really don't need it, and I'm going to put blush there anyway, but around my eyes, just a little bit. Then I'm going to use my NARS blush. I've been using NARS blush, I think, since I discovered Sephora back in the early 2000s. So I've got a separate blush brush for this one. I don't remember where this one came from, but it's just separate. So I don't want to put my blush into my powder or vice versa. I just keep them separate. So a little bit of that, and I just kind of go below my brow bone and just kind of on the apples of my cheeks. And I even swipe some up like that, just a little bit. Okay, got that. Next, let's talk about eyebrows. So as you can see, I have very dark eyebrows. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, I used to have pretty much a unibrow. So do you remember Brooke Shields in the 80s and late 80s with her big bushy eyebrows? I had eyebrows like that, and I really did not like them. So I constantly was ripping them out, right? So I ripped them out in the 90s when we had those like kind of thin, like arched eyebrows. I was constantly ripping them out. And now what I've found is I rip them out so much that they really don't grow back, which is good and bad. So I do like to take this eyebrow brush and just brush them straight up so that all my eyebrow hairs are going the same way, which doesn't make a big difference, but I think it just makes it a little better. Sometimes I'll fill them in with eyebrow pencil, but I don't really do that very often. Now I want to look for my eyeliner. So I've tried all different kinds of eyeliners. I've tried pencils, but I find pencils smudge off. I've tried powders, they kind of disappear on my skin. So I found one that I like that's a gel, just a little gel. And this one is actually CoverGirl. I find it just kind of works the best. I've tried more expensive ones, but this one works really good. I get it at CVS, usually with a coupon. I'm a big CVS shopper, so I just use that. So I do need close up for this, and I just want to brush off the side and then brush it from the outside corner in, and then do the other side. So it's not very dark, but it just gives it a little bit more definition. And I have to be careful before it dries because sometimes it'll bleed a little bit. So I just take a Q-tip. I'm a big fan of the Q-tip. I get my Q-tips at the Dollar Tree. Okay, so now we've done the eyeliner. And what's left? Maybe some eyeshadow. I got a lot of different ones in here. I use everything from Sephora brand to Tarte to Estee Lauder. So which ones do we want today? I think we're gonna go with the Tarte. So this one is a 6 shadow palette. So I like this palette because it's got a lot of colors in it. It self-closes, it's got a little magnet, and I take it with me when I travel. So I'm packing right now to go on the cruise. So I'm gonna pack this and take it with me. I also like it because it's sparkly. So I think the sparkles show up a little nicer. So I'm gonna put just a neutral color on my lids. And this is good for when it's just like, you know, kind of everyday. But if you wanted to make it more dramatic for nighttime, you could also do a thicker layer. And I like to brush that. I like to get like in that middle part of your eye. I like to put a little bit of shadow there just so it doesn't look so dark sometimes. And then I'll take a different brush and do in the crease. So I do a darker color and I just swipe. I saw Tyra Banks one time talking about this on America's Top Model. She's like, make a banana. I'm like, okay, make a banana. Before I lost weight on GLP-1s, I didn't have like a indention in my, you know how like you can kind of see like right up here, my eyelids go in a little bit and you can see my brow bone. Before GLP-1s, it was just like fat. It was just like my eyes were straight. I didn't have any kind of curve or definition to my brow bone. You couldn't see them because they were covered up. So now that I've lost that fat in my face, it's a little bit easier to fill in with makeup. And then I'll do this pink on the corners right here. So, and as you can see, I'm not like a makeup expert. This is just what I do every day. And I like to be done like in a reasonable amount of time, right? Okay, so mascara. I've used a lot of different tubing mascaras. And the one I like right now is this Tarte brand. It's Tarte XL. It's from Sephora. We'll link that underneath. Sometimes I curl my eyelashes with a eyelash curler. I've started doing that again lately because I just think it makes them look more lifted and a little bit longer. So here's my eyelash curler. I got this at CVS. It's their One Plus Other brand. It's their store brand. Works great. So the trick and I used to curl my eyelashes all the time when I was younger, and then I stopped for a long time. I think it just took too much time, or I didn't care about it or whatever, but I've started doing it again lately. So you wanna get as close as you can to the lash line and just kind of press gently. And I like to then go out a little bit and then press gently again. So you get more of a curl and less of a crimp. So here's my mascara, the Tartelette XL tubing. So it makes little tubes around your lashes so then they look longer. Okay, so with this, you have to work kind of quickly because the little tubes want to dry. And if you get some on your eyelid, just take a Q-tip, because I just did, and just wipe it off. And I kind of like to shake, not shake, but move the wand from side to side too. I got more on my eyelid. Can you tell the difference? Before, after. I also do my bottom lashes. It just fills them in a little bit. And my lashes are pretty dark. They were thicker when I was younger. But you know, as we get older, things change. More Q-tips. I travel with a lot of Q-tips because I go through a lot. Now the other eye. I got my nails done yesterday for the cruise. What do you think? I didn't realize it was quite so bright. The guy put on the first coat and he said, "Do you like the color?" I said, "Oh, it's bright." He said, "Do you want to change it?" And I said, "No, that's fine. I'm going on a cruise. I want it to be bright and pink." So I'm just working through. And I usually just do one coat. Some people do multiple coats, but I usually just do one. What do you think? For lip color, I'm not really a big lip color person. I have found Something that I really like is these Burt's Bees lip balms that have color in them. They don't last, the color doesn't really last a long time, but they're moisturizing. And just to give my lips a little moisture. See how nice that looks? Just a little something. Okay, now I'm done with that. Okay, and now we have dry hair. So that really didn't take me, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, I got a tangle. I hate when that happens. Try not to have that, but when I was younger in the 80s, I used to dry my hair upside down so it could be as big as possible. Did y'all ever do that? I'm still waiting for big hair to come back in. Okay, now let's talk about hair tools. Besides the blow dryer, I have a lot of hair straighteners, curling irons. I've used all kinds of hair products, hair tools. There's one point in the 80s, I think I even used hot rollers just because I wanted that big, the big hair. My hair doesn't really ever get really straight. It will be straight for like a minute, but then I'll go outside in the humidity and it's not straight. So I put curl in it with a curling iron. This one is just from Revlon. I got it at Walmart. It's got the 1.5-inch barrel, the bigger barrel, which I like, and it heats up super fast. So I plug it in and turn it on. Gotta hold it down for a second to turn it on, and it'll be hot in like 30 seconds. So I'm done with the brushes, and you can use, I get these clips. I've gotten them from, I don't know, Dollar Tree or CVS maybe, and they're good for if you have like hair that you want to pull back. Sometimes I use them when I'm blowing my hair dry to get the pieces underneath, because my hair underneath is a lot of times very curly underneath because I just don't want to take that much time to blow it dry. So, take my comb. This is where my wide tooth comb comes in again for the end, but and I don't put a lot of curls in my hair. See, my thing's already heated up. But you definitely want to make sure that you don't burn your hair. I don't even put it in for that long. Sometimes I roll the curls towards my face. Sometimes I roll them away from my face. I don't know, just depends on what I'm feeling that day. It seems like it goes easier if I roll them toward my face. My hairdresser always tends to roll them away or do a mix, and I'm like, I just don't have time to think about all that a lot of times. And this one, if I knock the button, it'll knock the heat down a notch, which is kind of annoying, but that's not the end of the world. My bangs don't really grow. My hair just doesn't grow very fast anymore. That's just kind of the way it is. I think my hair grows faster in the summer, and I think it's because I get more sunshine. I always thought my kids grew faster in the summer. Y'all with kids, did you ever think that? I just feel like, you know, they're in the sun, they're playing outside, we're at the pool, they're, you know, getting maybe more exercise because they're swimming around and playing with their friends. And I just felt like they grew faster. I don't know, that's my unofficial theory. So that's when I hear some doctors talking about, you know, sunlight and how beneficial it is and how good it is for you. I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that. I totally think people need to get sunlight. Now, you do need to wear sunscreen because the sun damages your skin. I mean, I have some sunspots. I grew up in the 80s. I used baby oil to lay out in the sun, unfortunately. But as I got older, I just didn't lay in the sun that much. And also, when I was heavier, I just didn't want to put a bathing suit on. So I just wasn't, maybe that saved me from some sun damage by being so self-conscious of how I looked. But anyway, but then you have kids and the kids want to go to the pool and you end up in the sun anyway, whether you like it or not. I've had a lot of mom swimsuits, a lot of Lands' End swimsuits, and you know, it used to be I had to buy swimsuits that maybe I didn't like, but they fit. I mean, that was the case through a lot of my life. I had to buy things maybe in a color I wouldn't have bought, or a style I didn't like because that's what fit my body. That was what was available in my size. So, you know, now that I've lost the weight and gotten to my goal weight, it's nice to be able to wear whatever I want. And what about it, as my kids would say. I've definitely bought more bathing suits. I've bought some two-piece bathing suits. And, you know, while those are good and all, but I have saggy skin now on my stomach from losing weight, right? Well, you know, I've had 3 kids. I gained 50 to 70 pounds with every pregnancy. So my skin got stretched out to a point, and, you know, at some point it's just not going to go back. So short of surgery, there's not a lot that you can do about it. I have tried this. I've tried a lot of different creams. I saw this one recommended on social media. It's Nivea Skin Toning and Firming Body Gel Cream. And I thought, oh, well, I'll try it. So I put it, should I show you my stomach? You've watched this far, why not? So, you know, it's saggy, and some people might say, oh, mine's saggier, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we all have it, and we're all, you know, don't want it. But I don't know if this has helped. I've been using this for a couple weeks, and I don't know, it's moisturizing. I mean, I always exfoliate all this in the shower but it's just loose skin, right? So, you know, it's not really going to go away without surgery. I mean, if I had some kind of lift right there, that would be that would be amazing if I could get it to look like that. But it's just not going to happen without surgery, and that's fine. I also use this cream on my arms because although I work out and I have muscular arms, you know, it's still saggy. There's still loose skin. And again, that's just not going to go away without surgery. But at least it can be moisturized and it can look as good as it's going to look, right? So, gun show. Okay. But anyway, that's Nivea. We'll put the link in the description and in our Amazon store. So, I've got some curls in my hair. All right. So I'm just going to take my wide tooth comb and just comb it through. And that's really all I do. I think it came out pretty good today. Some days are better than others. Okay, so my hair tends to want to curl in like clumps. I don't know. What do you think? Is that okay? My hairspray I've been using since college is the Aussie brand. I used to have the freeze kind, and in college in the late 80s and early 90s, you know, you'd take the hair dryer and you'd make the hair stand up and then spray it. Good times. I don't use that much, but just a little bit to kind of lock it in place. All right. And you know, sometimes my hair is fine the next day to not do anything to it, to not curl it. Sometimes I get a few curls to touch up. Sometimes I don't do anything at all. Okay, so I think we're ready. Is there anything else that I forgot? Nope. So let me know if you like this video. It's my first ever Get Ready With Me video. I don't know. Are there products that you like that I like? Are there products that you don't like that I like? You can let me know in the comments. It's fine. Thanks for watching this far. And I hope you will like and subscribe to the Downsized. You know, as we lose weight with GLP-1, so much changes, right? Our hair changes, our skin changes, our moisturizing needs change, everything changes. So, you know, I'm just trying to figure out the products that work and the products that I like. So thanks for watching. My name's Laraine Durham for the Downsized.